Hello, this is Second Story Garage. I'm Quentin Young here with the John Jorgenson Bluegrass Band. Thanks a lot for coming in.
You're welcome.
So you guys are from California and Nashville.
Yep.
You're in town to play Swallow Hill tonight in Denver.
Right.
And you've been around, you said, less than a year now, right?
Yeah. Our first show together in this configuration was last July.
Okay.
In Nashville.
Yeah.
But you also, between the four of you, have done so many things over the years. I mean, people started to know your name in the 80s with the Desert Rose, and you've played with Elton John, and you've done the Gypsy Jazz thing most recently, and other of you guys have played with Earl Scruggs, and John, you guys did a song today that John wrote with Guy Clark, and
Yeah.
so just all kind. You're a supergroup, I think.
Well, thank you.
Oh, that changes everything.
We do have
Our price just went up.
I mean, it is a very pedigreed.
You heard it right here.
Pedigreed group of guys. I mean, you mentioned Desert Rose Band, and that's where I first met Herb. Even before the band started, we were backing up Dan Fogelberg, along with Chris Hillman and Bill Bryson, and we did a tour backing up Dan and opening for him. And then that kind of morphed into the Desert Rose Band. And I'd been a fan of Herb's for a long time before that, listening to him sing with Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt and Jackson Brown. And,
Attaboy.
And his... I'm dropping them. No, but it's true. I had his solo albums on vinyl. And, so being in a band with him was fantastic. And that was back in 1985.
Yes.
I guess we first
that's right.
met.
Yep.
And John, I met probably not long after that.
Yeah.
Desert Rose Band would play gigs with Holly Dunn,
Yeah, right.
and he was playing with her.
And Emmylou.
And then
That's right,
after
you guys
that,
with
Emmylou
Emmylou,
Harris. Yeah. And that's there's sort of a little family that's, and Emmy is probably kind of the common denominator for all of us, because Mark played a long time with Ricky Skaggs, who also was in Emmy's band, and
and she plays a lot with Rodney Crowell too.
exactly, and who's
he's
he's a close friend, and we do some of his material, and so it's
The circle is small.
and Chris Hillman also probably is, I would almost say, at the epicenter of that, because he discovered Emmylou Harris basically and introduced her to Graham Parsons, and and of course he and Herb and I had the Desert Rose Band together, so there's
Herb
like I
sang
say,
on that's all Herb on those Emmy records, man. That's how I got the gig. I knew every Herb Peterson part. She goes, "You got all the parts." I was like, "I know every Herb Peterson."
So, John, do you feel, is this a new direction for you, the bluegrass, or is this something that you're fitting in with the rest of your projects, or how do you view that?
I wouldn't. I mean, this is a new ensemble. I mean, John and I played with Earl Scruggs. We got to play bluegrass with him for about the last 7 or 8 years of his life, and that was a real treat. So when he passed away, I missed that opportunity, and it wasn't a full time. He would only do maybe 4 or 5 gigs a year, but it still gave me a chance to play that music and to play with John. And when he passed away, I really missed that fix of bluegrass, because years ago I played a lot of bluegrass every day at Disneyland. I played it for like 7 hours a day, 6 days a week, so for a number of years. So it's ingrained.
That explains so much.
Yes, stop. Don't even start with
So
that.
you're working on finishing an album with the Bluegrass Band. And
Yeah,
it's going to be out this summer, right?
yeah.
And you have a working name for it. What is that?
Yeah, well, Cheryl Crow is a good friend of John's, and she really graciously allowed us to use her studio there in Nashville. And she doesn't really have a name for it, but it's above a horse barn, so it's kind of up, and it feels like a little nest. So
It's a good place to make some bluegrass music.
Yeah, a lot of wood on the walls, vintage instruments everywhere, horses below, smell of hay. So we're calling it music from the Crow's Nest.
Oh,
would be
that makes sense.
the album, and we're planning for it to come out in August.
Okay, great.
And the debut, probably the release event, will be Guitar Town, which is this free guitar festival at Copper Mountain.
when
Second
is that?
weekend of August.
Okay.
First day is all acoustic, which we'll play. Second day is all electric. And we have Tommy Emmanuel and Lawrence Juber and Sonny Landreth and Albert Lee, Leroy Purnell and Chris Hillman. It's going to be a great event.
The
So
slackers.
we will. Yeah, I know. I'm just dropping those names.
Yeah.
Cheap, but they'll, it's free. So, more people really need to know about
Yeah,
it.
that sounds like a lot of fun.
You
And-
don't have to be a guitar lover to go.
And real quick, you're going to be back in Colorado also for Rocky Grass.
Yeah, we're actually all teaching at the Rocky Grass Academy, bass, banjo, songwriting, and mandolin.
Yeah.
So anybody, come to that, and then we'll perform at the festival too.
Right. And so all 3 songs that you did today are going to be on From the Crow's Nest.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So
they will.
This is kind of a sneak peek for that.
Yeah.
So that was really fun to listen to. Thanks a lot for coming in and playing for us.
You're welcome.
Thanks for
Our
having us.
pleasure. Yeah, I've seen what you've done here, and it's fantastic. So we're happy to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you very much.
You got a great crew.
Thank you. Yes, we do. This is Second Story Garage.